First question, Anthony, is what steps did you take to become an entrepreneur?
What steps I took? I decided very early on that I was going to be an entrepreneur. School really wasn't for me. The steps are, finding a passion, what you want to do, and then growing up in the grocery business with my dad. My dad was kind of an entrepreneur too, so the steps were just getting into it, just executing.
When did you realize you were an entrepreneur?
Like I said, at a very young age, my dad was an entrepreneur. I was working at his store at a very young age. I would take candy bars from the store while I was working there, and I'd take them to school and sell them.
Nice. So do you ever find it difficult to come up with ideas?
Well, ideas are come to me very easily, and I bet they do to everyone else. It's the execution that's key. Ideas are a dime a dozen. The execution is where a business is born.
What advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs?
I would say find a passion. Look for something that you're really passionate about, that you will give your all to creating and bringing to reality, to the masses, I guess.
When you decide to do something, do you ever think about what's the worst that could happen?
Not really what's the worst that can happen, but you look forward and think like what this is going to take and how it's going to play out, and then the pros and the cons. So there's planning, there's a little foresight. You have to look forward to see where you're going to land, and if the idea is worth pursuing and putting into action.
What drove you to keep going even things didn't go as planned?
Well, I guess you always have to have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. When things don't go as planned, then you have to make some changes. You have to adjust. You have to come up with other ideas. You gotta test your concept before you launch it, really.
Yeah. Why did you choose to go into the entertainment industry?
Well, when I was younger, I was a little guy. I didn't really fit in many places, and as a kid that wasn't really accepted in school because of my size, I was thinking about how I could adapt that pain that I went through as a little guy, and I saw a void in the entertainment industry and thought, hey, if we could disrupt the entertainment industry, that would be good for people that felt like they didn't fit in. And there's a lot of people that don't feel like they fit in, but there's opportunities out there for everyone.
Were you afraid to open an entertainment company in such a competitive market?
Not really. I think there's always room to improve everything, and in this case, we were looking to disrupt the way that the industry worked, and so we weren't really competing with anyone. We were kind of just marching to the beat of our own drum.
When you first started 99, what was one of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome?
I think any entrepreneur is finding good help is a big deal. Also with 99, it was such a big undertaking that we just didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what we didn't know, and we had to kind of learn it. And it we stumbled a lot in the beginning. Been around for 15 or 16 years now, so we've gained some momentum. But when you first start, you have to do your research on what it's going to entail to launch a business, especially of this size.
Did 99 happen overnight, or was it a very long process?
Yeah, and I think anything that happens overnight is not going to be much of a success, or last this long. But yeah, it took a long time. Like I said, there was a lot of things that we didn't know. We ended up learning. But yeah, everything that's worth doing is going to take a while, and you have to have patience, and you have to be able to push forward through almost anything.
Yeah. So once 99 started to really take off, did you notice that it was harder or easier to manage the company?
It gets harder because, as you grow, you get bigger, and people start to take notice, and then the trolls come out and the haters come out, and then things get into having to reassert yourself as the industry leader, and as time goes on, people feel like why didn't I think of that, or why didn't I do that, and then there's a little jealousy there too, of course, and if people aren't talking about you, which they are talking about us, if they're not talking about you, then you're doing something wrong, I think.
How do you know when an employee is a good fit for 99?
We have some core values that we live by, and if an employee is part of those core values, then they're a good fit, and we put them through we analyze them through our core values while we're doing the hiring process, and hopefully our managers are looking for those core values and those values in our employees, and for the most part, we know that we have a very strong team here.
Is 99 what you envisioned it would be when you first started?
It is. It's very close to what we wanted it to be. It'd be nice if if we would have done a better job from the beginning to explain the difference between an agency and what 99 does, the services that 99 provides, and then there wouldn't be so much confusion, and people would understand it more, and then more people would take advantage of the opportunity and the tools and resources that we offer. It really bugs me and it bothers me when someone says I'm not coming in on my appointment, or I'm not going for my second appointment because it's not an agency, or they're not an agency, or a real agency wouldn't do this, or blah 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 blah. So it just bugs me.
What can you say about your team?
My team, I love my team. 99 wouldn't be anything without the team. To help the 99%, you can't do it, with 2 or 3 people. There's a lot of people out there that want to get involved in the entertainment industry. A lot of people out there that want to take their shot, and in order to be able to offer it, we have to be ready to handle the volume that comes through. I mean, we get thousands and thousands of submissions a month.
Yeah. So if you hadn't built 99, what would you be doing right now?
So I've been involved with 99 for many, many years, and I've done a lot of other businesses during the time. So it's not like if 99 didn't exist, I wouldn't have another business to fall back on, or would have developed. I've been in the custom home building, bowling alley, nightclubs, you name it, I've done it. So I mean, I could see myself even as being in the service industry. I could be a realtor. I like talking, I like selling, I like helping people. So I mean, I think I could be doing anything.
Final question from me is, what's next for you?
Next for me is to help 99 become, I guess, the leader in developing a trade association for models, actors, musicians, and other services like 99, to bring them all together and create an organization that is the hub for everyone to meet and offer services, and just make it easier on the talent to find these opportunities and these other skills that they're going to need, and bring them all together in Las Vegas, bring them together in Los Angeles, bring them together in Miami, bring them together in Atlanta, New York. The major markets have maybe 4 or 5 events a year or conventions a year, and build a machine that helps disrupt the entertainment industry the way it stands and the way it works right now.